Welcome to SlickWorks YouTube channel. If you like building cool stuff and saving a ton of money while doing so, hit that subscribe button. Welcome to episode 8. I hope you like it. Just gotta fill up the tank real quick. Whoop, there we are. Well, there we have it. The dash is out, so basically just gotta wash it down and clean it with some degreaser, give it a little scuff, and then dye it black. Man, the junk my wife lets me buy, eh? Well, the new dash is probably finished curing now, so let's check it out. So the first time I painted this, it was actually way too shiny and I wasn't happy with it. So I stood back like 2 feet and just gave it a few mist coats. And now it looks absolutely perfect. And so here's the dash that came off the car, and you could tell, I mean, you know, I showed in the video that it's cracked. I mean, you can see just how cracked it was now that I got it out in the sunlight. This crack, I'm not sure if that's repairable or not, but yeah, Michelin. Anyways, yeah, the new dash looks fantastic. I'm very happy with how it turned out. So now I'm just prepping up this dash for paint, and where you can see all the rust underneath here, I can't even reach down there. And whoever installed this windshield not only did a terrible job with the urethane there, it just looks hideous, but there's not much I can do about that. But I did notice this here. Now that is actually steel touching the glass. I actually used a brush just to double check that it is actually touching. This is a unibody car, so I will be reinforcing the chassis underneath now that it's going from a 2.3 liter to a 5.7 liter. But right there, if the body twists, or even if I hit like a really big bump or something, that could send a big old crack through the windshield. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I won't be able to get any paint down there either, which is a huge pain. Well, that was not fun, and it's nowhere near perfect, of course, but it'll have to do. There's just no way for me to reach down into there, so there's going to be a bit of paint on the windshield itself, but I'm not even really that worried about it, because if anything, it'll hide the rust, so whatever. That'll do. There's the other one. All right. It's not bad. That's my kind of recycling. Thanks, Todd. All your scrap metal removal needs, call T&K Holloway. In your way, we'll haul it away. Okay, so for this part of the dash here, I'm actually going to use the same European texturized gravel guard that's in here. I just really like the way it looks. It'll keep the glare down from the sun. And yeah, it should be pretty nice. But first, before I do that, I'm going to just coat this with some satin black spray paint, and hopefully that'll all run down in there and make it look nicer, because it just does not look very good. So we'll see how it goes. Chevy, can you say Vega?
Vega. How is a piece of junk?
It's what?
How's a piece of junk?
I wiped down the inside of the gauge cluster with some tire shine just to give the black some fresh shine behind the freshly polished lens. After installing the lens, you can see the beautiful difference in the before and after on the speedometer lens. Now that the lens is installed, there was some heat warpage that I had to address on the surrounding trim piece. If you have trim that's heat warped, heat it up with a heat gun until it's almost too hot to touch, then gently massage it back into its original shape. Of course, be careful not to heat up the trim too much or you could change the texture of the plastic. Okay, so there's two reasons why I didn't use the European gravel guard on the dash. I'm just leaving it in the satin black finish. The first reason is that it would be impossible for me to get the gravel guard down these vents for the defoggers. The second reason is that when you're wiping this stuff with a microfiber cloth, it actually pulls the fibers out, and I don't want to have a whole bunch of little yellow fibers on my dash every time I try to clean it. The paint turned out okay. There is a lot of fish eyes and a lot of dry patches, but for what it is, I think it looks 100% better than how it did before. And yeah, I mean, people aren't going to really be focusing on this area anyways when there's a whole lot of beautiful going on down here. So yeah, time to put it together. Hi, welcome to SlickWorks YouTube channel. Whether you're watching from your living room, your toilet, or your bedroom, thanks for tuning in. Now, the question on everybody's mind is, can Slick really build this car as cheap as possible? And if so, how much is that gonna cost? Well, better hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for a future episode where there will be a full price breakdown of each individual part, as well as labor of what the cost would be if you were to take it to a shop. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Well, that's a wrap for episode 8. This is feeling more and more like a really nice place to be, so super stoked with the way the dash turned out. Thanks for watching, guys, and all that's left to say is stay tuned for episode 9. I gotta get this car done. I mean, enough is enough. This episode is brought to you by EIE. It's not just another venture, it's a lifestyle. What started off as kind of a cool idea has now become international. Many different people in many different countries are rocking the EIE t-shirts. So if you want t-shirts, hats, jackets, baby onesies, you name it, visit eielifestyle.com
or click the link in the description.